Well, more concerns tonight on how Mesa police handled the arrest of Lorenzo Jones after a witness video of his hands-up beanbagging went viral. And now Mesa police say they did address at least one issue from that day with supervisors. ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blasius has been pushing for police transparency on this case, and she just reviewed the police video and reports.
The question is whether Mesa police acted impartially or with spite. That's because the Mesa SWAT team's use of force here happened just days after Lorenzo Jones was accused of assaulting one of their fellow officers. And that alleged officer victim was allowed to be on the scene of the beanbagging and then to personally haul Lorenzo back to jail. This is Mesa police's second time at Lorenzo Jones' apartment last month. Lorenzo and his supporters say this was excessive force and perhaps retaliation for an earlier case. More on that in a minute. In the video, you see Lorenzo put his hands up, kids right there, and the SWAT team fires a beanbag round, then a second and a third. But the officer who launched the beanbags defended the actions in this report, that he was repeatedly fearful Lorenzo may be accessing a gun and that he was failing to comply with orders. He started yelling and may try and go back inside the apartment. Mesa police supervisors sided with the officer, saying the use of force was in policy. Afterward, Officer Jacob Harris takes over a handcuffed Lorenzo. Oh, and Officer Harris knows all about that warrant because he's an alleged victim in that crime from just 10 days earlier. The ABC 15 investigators also have video of that case from July 6th. Officer Harris interviewing Lorenzo's fiancée about allegations of a physical fight between Lorenzo and other relatives. Lorenzo himself had run off. Officer Harris decided to detain the fiancée, later saying he just didn't want her to interfere.
Put your hands up.
Instead, things escalate fast. Lorenzo Jones is accused of running into and hitting Officer Harris. In return, he's punched, tasered, and although it's hard to see, the police report says Officer Harris laid on top of Lorenzo's head and put his arm around Lorenzo's neck and then applied upward pressure.
Well, it's tough in the face.
So when these two meet again, the alleged officer victim is now in charge of this alleged attacker, giving him a lecture with the help of a second cop.
You did that. That was a choice you made as a grown man. How did I do that? Because you didn't follow instructions.
Come on, man. Y'all know what y'all was doing.
Something like this should not happen.
Pastor Andre Miller is a community activist who's working with Lorenzo and his family. He's critical of Mesa Police's decision-making that let Officer Harris not only come with the SWAT team, but, as it's clear in the video, even drive the man alone to jail and write up recommended criminal charges.
If this particular officer is listing himself as a victim of a crime, which he has every right to, you'd think that he would not be on a call or a scene of someone who was the purported aggressor in his crime.
In another twist,
Hi, my name is Officer Jacob Harris. I'm with Mesa PD.
this same Officer Harris showed up to a Lorenzo's next court hearing, saying Lorenzo's hitting him made a physical and psychological impact.
It causes me emotional distress that I have to fear for my life.
Officer Harris also defended the SWAT team's beanbagging.
This is not retaliatory.
When ABC 15 first asked about Officer Harris's involvement in the second arrest, an assistant police chief said Harris did not plan it and did not launch the beanbags. He also said patrol officers like Harris may be on a SWAT scene generally for crowd control. After reviewing the video showing Officer Harris did play an active role, Mesa Police changed its tone somewhat, saying, "We understand the appearance of having an officer on scene who was previously attacked by the suspect raises concerns, and we have already addressed those concerns with supervisors." Officer Harris and all of the officers on scene that day handled the situation professionally and consistent with Mesa PD standards. Pastor Miller hopes Mesa Police also take a deeper look at this one officer's overall wellness.
We want all the officers to, who serve to be clear in their thinking and their judgment, And it appears that this officer may potentially have something going on. And my hope is that the chief gets to the bottom of that.
The county attorney declined to press any charges related to Lorenzo Jones's second arrest. However, that first case involving the family fight and the alleged attack on Officer Harris is still ongoing. Lorenzo and his attorney declined to comment for the story. I'm investigator Melissa Blasius, ABC 15 Arizona.